All right, so today I'm going to show you how to set a dog-proof raccoon trap. You can see we ran the traps last night. Had a pretty good night, got a couple of nice big coons, got some possums down under there. And these are the traps that, a lot of turkey hunters who are starting to get into trapping a little bit. This is the first trap that they buy, and the reason for that's pretty simple. Turkey hunters are for the most part looking to remove some nest predators from their hunting properties ahead of turkey season. Not looking to eradicate the coons or the possums or anything, but if you can take a good chunk of those predators out in the late winter, right before the nesting, what you do is you create a void in the predators on the ground. It gives those hens a chance to nest successfully without their eggs being destroyed. There have been a lot of studies that show, like, possums, coons, they can play hell on turkey nests, and they really they really destroy a lot of them. Hens lose a lot of their nest to predation, and so what this does, it just helps alleviate some of that. And it's also a lot of fun. These coons have got a nice fur on them too, and these dog-proof raccoon traps, they make it pretty easy. And so these are the ones. This one is a Duke. These are probably the ones that that most people use just because they're the easiest to find. Now, there's some other really good ones, like I've used the Z traps before. A lot of times you have to order those from a trap shack or something like that. But they're really good traps. But these Dukes work great. You can find them at most sporting goods stores, hardware stores, and you got to be sure they're rigged up. For the most part, they come from the factory with this first length of chain, and then you can either add like a J swivel here or even a quick link. And I add another piece of chain and a two-way swivel on the end of that, and that's just so I can latch it around a tree. Besides that, you need a brass or a metal trapping tag. That one has been on this trap for a while, but it still works. It's got your name and address. Those things are easy to get. Put them on there with a little piece of wire, and then that trap is legal and ready to go. A lot of guys, when they get these from the store, they like to boil them to get that factory oil and scent off there. Certainly doesn't hurt anything. But I have caught raccoons on these things just brand new out of the package too, and they work just fine. And so the mechanics of setting these things are really simple. They've got a latch right here, and you can see down in there they've got that latch is connected to a trigger. And what a raccoon does, and why this is called a dog-proof trap, a dog can mess with this, he can step on it, or a cat or whatever, but unless you reach down in that hole and hit that trigger, this trap is not going to fire. So it doesn't pose any threat to pets or anything like that. And the raccoons, the way that they feed, they'll reach their hands down in something, and you fill this thing full of bait, they reach down, they get that trigger, and this spring just closes on their hand, and it just holds them there until you can get to them the next morning. And so you to set this thing, you've got your jaws connected to your spring down here. Pull that shut, and then this little piece, this is called your dog. Pull that, you pull your dog down, and you latch it just like that right there. And when the coon hits that thing, it catches him. And that's all there is to it. And so, getting these things set is pretty easy. You can bait them with a lot of different things. There's some commercial coon baits, things like that. To me, like cheap cat food and marshmallows is probably the cleanest and easiest, and I have caught a lot of raccoons on that. And so what I like to do, I like to actually load these things up first, and that way your trigger is where it needs to be. So I'll get that loaded up. Put the cat food out there. Put some cat food down in there. And then top that cat food off with a marshmallow. Now you want to be careful sticking your finger down in there to get that marshmallow in, because if that thing goes off, your finger is going to get in there. But that one is loaded up and ready to go. And I'll just stick it in the ground here. I'm going to get these other two loaded up, and then we'll take a little walk and get them set. So again, squeezing that shut, holding it, turn your dog down, flip that latch, connect it right there. This one I've got a little piece of salmon. Salmon's probably not still good. It's been riding around in my four-wheeler for about 3 days. That's a good fishy smell. I'm gonna drop that one down in there. Drop a little cat food on top of it. A little more. You want to put enough food in there to make those coons work for it. You want them reaching in there, maybe get them a couple of good bites to start with, and then when they reach in there for that last bite, that's when you catch them. A lot of guys will take these dog-proof traps and wonder where they should put them, and it can be oversimplified. Sometimes guys think you can just stick them anywhere and catch a raccoon, and sometimes you can, but it helps a lot to know a little bit about raccoon nature. You know, if you're a deer hunter, you know, if you're doing this, you probably are, and it's legal like to run bait in your estate. Anywhere around your deer feeders, you've probably seen raccoons up there. That's going to be a good place to catch them. But other really good places are just the areas that raccoons will hunt naturally. You know, they're gonna, up in the hardwoods, they're gonna run those wide open ridge tops, those big white oak ridges. But here in a lowland like this, raccoons really love to hunt these areas. And you can kind of look behind me. We're on the edge of a swampy area, real thick buckbrush out here. It's pretty thick, you know, kind of upland habitat here. But down through here along this shoreline, so to speak, it's pretty open. And what you'll get these raccoons that come through here at night, and they'll just walk this open area. They're scenting for things, they're looking for crawfish. This is how they would find a turkey nest in the spring, you know, they're in the upland areas. And so what you want to do, you want to put these traps in the areas where when a coon's out there hunting and hungry anyway, he's likely to encounter it. And so we caught 3 down through here last night, and you know, we've dispatched all those. They're on the 4-wheeler. And like when I'm resetting on a coyote set, a lot of times I'll just redo the trap right there. Even if there's blood in the set, those coyotes will come to it. But I found with raccoons, it's a lot more effective just to move your trap a little bit, clean it off, get that blood off of it. Because again, like they like that stuff that smells sweet and fishy, and you get something that smells like blood and a dead raccoon, I think sometimes it shies them away. But we caught one right over there, so we're gonna move this trap right here. And we've got our piece of salmon in the bottom of that thing and some cat food on the top of it. And then a marshmallow to cap things off. And I'm just gonna put that around the tree, double check everything. My trap tag is there. Stick that thing down in the ground, and any luck, that'll catch another one in the morning. Oh, you can also, if you've got you know, any kind of scent, a lot of times like your castor scent that you know, that you might use for trapping beavers works pretty well. This is like a coon gland scent. You can use any of your predator scents, but it doesn't hurt to take some of that scent, that lure. And I don't do this at every set, but I'll do it at some of them. Just rub that on a tree right there. That just kind of gives them, that stuff smells pretty stout. Not really a bad smell, but that kind of gives them you know, something to key in on. They smell that, they come to check it out, and they find that trap, and hopefully you catch them.